Hello and welcome back, guys and girls, to my weekend update on the financial markets. My name is Jens and I have now 7 years experience in the market since I bought my first Bitcoin. Now I want to share some of my experience with you. We are analyzing a price action in the following assets: S&P 500, US oil, gold and Bitcoin. And let's start directly with the S&P 500 index so that you know what to do in the markets. Like always, I want to start with a weekly time frame where each candle is 1 week of price action. Then we go down to the daily and 4-hour time frame. On the weekly, we can see we are above the 200 moving average, above the weekly orange uptrend line, and above the last all-time high from January 2022. Price so far has made one impulse, one correction, a second impulse, a second correction, and it is now in a third weekly impulse to the upside, so all pretty bullish. If we drop down to the daily, we can see that inside this third weekly impulse to the upside, we already had one daily impulse to the upside, where I bought 20% of my account balance into an S&P 500 ETF. After that, we have seen a small drop, so the first daily correction, and now we have seen or are in the second daily impulse to the upside. This impulse could end now because we see a cross and a MACD indicator. And at the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we build up, it seems like a double top. And also the MACD indicator has already crossed on the 4-hour time frame to the downside. Now we are seeing price decline below the blue dotted 4-hour uptrend line. And yeah, that could mean that price will reverse a little bit here and fall down to maybe around the last daily impulse high, or in combination probably with the daily white uptrend line. And there I expect the price will find support and move further upwards. What's not allowed to happen for S&P 500 index? In my opinion, it's not allowed to happen for S&P 500 index to fall below this daily white uptrend line, especially in the combination with this last daily support and resistance zone. If we break below these two zones, make a retest and break the retest to the upside, to the downside, then I think my bullish case is over, and we have to think about bearish scenarios. For example, that price will decline lower to the last all-time high in January 2022, or the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. But as long as this isn't the case, I'm not worried, and setbacks are buying opportunities, but make research by yourself. If we switch to US oil, also on the weekly time frame, we can see a red monthly downtrend line and a red monthly support and resistance zone. Both got broken to the upside by price. After that, price moved into this weekly consolidation, which I marked with this orange weekly downtrend line. Price got supported by the 200 moving average every time. Also in the last weeks, price was able to break this orange downtrend line to the upside, which is a bullish sign. After that, we can see it better on the daily time frame. Price made a correction, which was necessary. I marked this also with a downtrend line in white. Price was able to break this one to the upside in combination with the 200 moving average, and again the orange weekly downtrend line to the upside. This was the sign for me to get into this bullish US oil market, and I bought 20% of my account balance for this YouTube account via ETF into the US oil market. But that was already the case in my last update. If we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see what happened so far after that. We went a little bit higher, and then in a 4-hour consolidation zone, we broke it shortly to the upside, but then returned back into the zone. Maybe this was a fake out, and we will see lower prices, a break below this consolidation zone, and then a huger correction. But in my view, that's still bullish and would be an opportunity to get into the market if not happened yet. But make research always by yourself. You're your own financial advisor, not me. And yeah, but also this can be the first breakout sign to the upside, and that price will continue to the upside. If you want to get in the market and that's your plan, then I maybe would buy a small position to get a foot in the door already yet, and load up further if we see price decline in a bigger correction. But if prices are rising, then you have at least a small position in US oil. But make research and decisions by yourself, and that's me for US oil today. Let's switch to gold. Yeah, gold also on a weekly time frame looks absolutely beautiful for all gold bulls. We have a monthly uptrend line, a weekly uptrend line, all intact. Price is above 200 moving average. Price was finally able to break this often tested resistance zone to the upside. After that, price skyrocketed to the upside. You have really to say it like that. Now we have seen a double top. It could be at least. MACD crossed to the downside on a weekly, and all speaks for a little bit of cool off in price on the gold market. For that, we switch to the daily time frame. There we can see a broken daily uptrend line, making the divergence to price, which is also a very sign. Price moved also a little bit lower, but not very fast. So it's a slow correction if it gets one. There are two possibilities. Possibility number one, and my favorite, would be that we pull back all the way down to this daily support zone in combination with the daily uptrend line. This would be the perfect spot to get in and hope for a continuation of the bull market from there. But the second possibility is that price will build up a ranging movement and consolidation zone, and that this will be enough for price to finally find a breakout to the upside and continue this massive bull run. In the second opportunity, it's really hard to get in with a position because it's not so clear. Trading ranging markets is every time a challenge. If we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see a little bit my struggle with my lines. We had a blue dotted forward downtrend line. This one got broke to the upside, then sharply pulled back. So in my last update, I said that's probably a fake out to the upside to trap some bulls. After that, we dropped really to the downside, but now we broke this line again to the upside. I can't change this line to this spot because we haven't seen the lower lows. I can move the line first if we see price below this point. And yeah, price then went back up, broke it again to the upside, but this 4-hour uptrend line in combination with this support, or in this case resistance zone, stopped price, and it has now struggled to get above this. My plan so far is that if we see prices continuing lower from here, my scenario 1 stands, and I want to buy some gold ounces around this level. And so my first position in gold with this YouTube channel account. But if we see price rise from here again above this support zone or resistance zone in combination with the 200 moving average, I want to get a foot in the door, and I think I will buy a small position, maybe 5 to 10% of my account balance into gold, so that I don't miss the overall really bullish weekly uptrend. I really can't imagine that price will not come a little bit more down, but I don't want to take the risk. I buy a small position. If gold rises from there, I have at least that. But if gold makes the correction, I will load up fully on gold, maybe 20% or 25% in total. That's it for the gold market. Let's switch to Bitcoin against the US dollar. Bitcoin then also in the weekly time frame, we are seeing Bitcoin is pretty bullish because we are above the monthly and the weekly uptrend line, but we are struggling at the last all-time high level. On the daily time frame, we can see we had an impulse, a correction, a second weekly impulse, and a second weekly correction. The correction isn't over because the correction is first over technically if we see a new all-time high that we haven't seen yet. First, I thought this daily downtrend line would be the correction, and this would be the breakout. Because of that, I bought 20% of my account balance for this YouTube channel into Bitcoin. Price also moved higher after that, but wasn't able to make a new all-time high. Instead, we moved back below in and forming this ranging correction between this resistance zone and this support zone. Yeah, I predicted on the 4-hour time frame in the last weekend update that from there we will see probably lower prices if we break this small correction, retesting this 4-hour support and resistance zone. If we break this to the downside, we will see lower prices, and yeah, we did. But I also predicted that price will probably find support around this area. Why this area? On a daily time frame, we can see in this area we have this daily support zone, we have the weekly uptrend line, and the 200 moving average. This three combined should be enough to stop price from declining below or further, and that we will see the turning of price movement back to the upside. At the moment, I think the 4-hour time frame also look like that we will see that we are seeing a consolidation here, and probably in near future a break above this really clean 4-hour downtrend line, and from there on higher prices. I have here a notification that I get a message on my phone if price moves above this $26,000 mark, and then I will buy some more Bitcoin for this YouTube channel for the next big move to the upside. Yeah, what we can expect? We can definitely expect, if we get above this level, that we will see price rising higher. How far? Maybe we will see directly a new all-time high. Maybe we will get rejected at this zone again and will retest this zone for a third time. 1, 2, 3. And from there on finally breaking higher. What's not allowed? That was the bullish case. What's not allowed to happen? It's not allowed to happen for Bitcoin to fall below the daily support zone, the weekly uptrend line, and the 200 moving average. If we cross all of these three, we are probably in a very bearish scenario, because then the next price supports would be around this small area, or probably more around this area. So yeah, a couple of $1,000 lower, and at that point I would have to think about selling some position I have built up so far. Yeah, but I say bullish for Bitcoin. Keep in mind, buying the breakout of this 4-hour blue dotted downtrend line to the upside is probably a good idea, especially if you have no Bitcoin yet. But yeah, make research by yourself if this asset class is something for you. I just show you my behavior in the markets, and maybe you can learn something from it. I hope you enjoyed it and got some knowledge out of this video, and we see and hear us next time. Bye bye.